All right. Well, still not settled yet. Don't think I'm going to be settled for a while in the new house. Got a lot of work to do. I called a roofer today. We've got an electrician coming out tomorrow. All this good stuff. And furniture repair guy. Things like that. Still got a couple red squirrels that I'm trying to take care of. So we'll see how it goes. Might have to call some kind of pest control for that. Already have gotten rid of one. Like I said, still at least one more, but I've seen two outside. So, could be two. Could be more. Hopefully it's one, but we'll see. So anyways, this is an RPG rant video, and this is going to be campaign styles for leveling. Came up with this idea. I was watching Esper the Bard's YouTube channel, and one of his tips, I think it was like tip 8 or 9, I can't remember, was about when characters die, let them come back at the same level. So, for example, I think he said if they were level 17, basically they come back with a new character at level 17. That is one way to do it. That is typically how I think I would do it. I haven't had a lot of character deaths, but that is definitely how I usually do it anyway. But he also brought up a good point that I always thought would be kind of interesting too. Every new character has to come back at level 1. Now, he obviously doesn't do that, but he said that he would be interested in seeing how that would go. I also think that would be a lot of fun to see how that would go. But you would need a certain type of player who can deal with the fact that they're coming back extremely underpowered, no matter what race class combination they are. So you need characters that are okay with dying, because chances are, if you're that high a level and one of the characters dies and they come back at level 1, there's a good chance they're going to die if they're hit by almost anything. So it's something to keep in mind. Another thing, so again, starting with character death, when you die, maybe you come back either at the same level, which I think is pretty standard for most people, most campaigns. But I like the idea of toying with coming back at half level. So, example, you're at level 10, your character's at 5th level instead of 10. But if you're going to do something like this, I feel like that needs to be either when you do milestones, you need to take that into account and level that person quicker so they have a chance to catch up, I feel, or do it by XP. Because at one point, it's going to be such a large number to get to the next level, they might be close to the same level again or at the same level again. Another thing that you could do is throw bonus XP towards the person at lower level. I think that would be cool. Definitely something that I would experiment with. He's just hanging out. Yeah. Anyways, the other two are watching TV in the other room. But yeah, so he's a little tired, and Mommy doesn't come home for like another 45 minutes. So, and he's missing Mommy. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Oh, and then the dog's underneath my legs too. So, anyways, but I've never done that, so I feel like that would be something I would want to do. Now, another thing, when it comes to leveling up, this is not my idea, something I saw Dungeon Master Johnny said that he did once, is he started doing a level per session. So every session, the players level up no matter what, so that they can play all levels of Dungeons and Dragons. I think that sounds interesting. I think that would be a fun experiment. You'd probably have to plan a campaign to be 20 sessions to make that work well. But yeah, I mean, I like doing milestones. I mean, that's basically what you'd be doing. You'd be doing milestones. And then, you just kind of go from there, with milestones. I mean, it makes, the guesswork of leveling up a lot better, and you don't have to deal with your players asking, hey, did we level up this session? So that's cool. But, yeah, no, just a minute. I'll lay you down. Yeah, you're happy, but you're not. I know. But it would take the guesswork of leveling up out of it. And that would be fun and cool, and I think for some people that would work really well. And then you've got, XP, where you can reward certain behavior, whether it's RP or other things. Now you can see that we haven't finished painting up there. We just got the extension ladder so that we could paint up there, because that's pretty high ceiling. But yeah, so anyways, you could do bonus XP then for certain things. Not everyone has to level at the same time if you do, XP. But then you're doing a lot of accounting, and then you have to keep track. And then when people didn't write down what you told them in the last session, they're going to ask you, hey, how much XP did we get? And then you got to go back to your notes. And XP just is exhausting to me, personally. I used to swear by it. I used to give my players chips, little poker chips, if they did something cool in game, and that signified bonus experience. I think I had 2 or 3 different colors. I think it was 3. I think it was blue, white, and red or something. And when they would get those, they'd get bonus experience. And, you can do cool stuff with that, if they choose not to use their inspiration. Maybe they can cash it in for bonus experience points or whatever. There's a lot of little things you can do if you're playing with experience points to allow them to get extra experience points, reward them for not doing combat. You still, rather than like in Dungeons and Dragons where everything's associated with an encounter, even if they avoid the monsters without fighting them or the bad guys without fighting them, they should get the experience for them because they bypassed the encounter. They got past the encounter. Too many times I see people say, oh, well, experience just rewards you for killing everything. And I don't think it has to. As a DM, you could easily say, hey, I'm going to give double XP if you play your character in these situations, and maybe your character is more diplomat and would not fight and would talk their way out of it. Or they are a rogue, so they would probably try to sneak their way around it instead of fight it or talk it out. Maybe talking is like the second option and fighting is the last resort. And bad rolls could lead to those things. But you tried, so because you tried, you might get the bonus XP. Like triple XP for the encounter if you do your number 1 option, and double if you do your number 2 option. So many things you can do. I'm not saying there's one way to do it. I'm not telling you how you should do it. This should come down to what you like, what your group's like. What makes it the most fun for your group. And maybe you don't know. And if you don't know, that's okay. The way I've changed how I play over the years is pretty drastic. Like I said, I used to always use XP. I've played with people who would always reward, no matter what the character was, double XP for talking through an encounter. So I like to reward what I call Hollywood moments.